Okej, så välkomna tillbaka från lunchen. Jag hoppas att ni åt något jättegott runt omkring där ni sitter i landet. Jag heter Amanda Termén. Jag befinner mig i Lund eftersom jag är er moderator idag under den här dagen som har främsta temat Life Science. Och vi går raskt på första bolaget för eftermiddagen. And we're actually going to switch over to English. So I say welcome to Martin Vidaeus at Redwood Pharma.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's see if we can get this working here. Very good. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Redwood Pharma has begun a new chapter in the development of ophthalmic therapies addressing large unmet medical needs. And our lead program, RP101, is poised to enter phase 3 for the treatment of moderate to severe dry eye. And we're now developing RP501 really to capitalize on the commercial demand for differentiated dry eye products in the marketplace. The company develops drugs within ophthalmology where there are large unmet market demands. And basically we have two programs. The first is RP101. It's our lead program. It's based on an active biological pharmaceutical for the treatment of moderate to severe dry eye in postmenopausal women. RP501 is our other project. It aims to treat milder forms of dry eye disease in both men and women using the Untitled platform. And these are the two products that I'll be talking about today. And that's not to minimize the importance of Untitled, which is our drug delivery platform that allows us to deliver active substances to the front of the eye in ophthalmology, where we have an exclusive license for its use. The value in RP101 in the program has never been larger. There are roughly a little more than 340 million people worldwide that suffer from all different forms of dry eye, and we are addressing a serious unmet medical need and a very well-defined market within postmenopausal women using a low-dose estrogen that is safe and effective, and it's found in over 500 different products globally. We combine it with the Untitled platform, a novel drug delivery platform that's suited for ophthalmic use to help control the release of active substances on the front of the eye. And we just completed our phase 2 trial in Europe and went out with that information, the top-line results in March of last year, where we demonstrated successfully safety and efficacy. And we have a clear path to commercialization. And this program is really founded on strong intellectual property as well as a well-established safety profile of estrogen from 2 prior phase 2 trials in the US. The current 12 months, we've been very active in the company with partnering and development activities. We were at Bio Europe in Hamburg and JP Morgan in San Francisco last year, really meeting with a lot of different companies within big pharma, smaller companies as well, globally. We've retained a transaction advisor that has given us a structured process of meeting companies as well as assisting us in discussions and helping us structure a potential transaction. And we're looking for different types of agreements from global, regional, and national agreements. And we're currently planning for phase 3 start and commercialization of the technology. And to underscore, we're also evaluating new products that fit within ophthalmology. So let's take a deeper dive into RP101, give you an idea of what it's about and the successes that we've had over the past 12 months. What we're doing with RP101 is providing a low-dose estrogen, a topical estrogen, to the front of the eye to help treat moderate to severe dry eye in postmenopausal women, where today there are really no adequate therapies for these sufferers. We believe that RP101 will be the first hormone treatment for dry eye. It'll be targeting an underlying biological mechanism and increasing tear film production and thus reducing symptoms of dry eye, which is all important for patients. We've currently completed the phase 2 trial in Europe, as I said, which exhibited safety and efficacy. And this data then confirms results from 2 prior clinical trials that were performed in the US, which this project is based on. So we've really increased this body of evidence and are very, very proud of what we've accomplished. Dry eye is really a manifestation of an unstable tear film. What we see is that there are a lot of different causes of it, and one key cause is a hormone deficiency that results in various types of symptoms. We see that there are different receptors, estrogen receptors in critical cells and glands in and around the eye that are involved with maintaining the integrity of the tear film. And by applying a low-dose estrogen to the front of the eye, the idea is that we would stimulate the production of the critical components of the tear film, the mucin layer, the aqueous layer, and the lipid layer. By this way, restoring the tear film and reducing symptoms of dry eye. As I said, we completed the phase 2 trial last year, and I'd like to give you some of the highlights of it. And we looked at both objective and subjective measures. And this is our primary endpoint, where we saw a significant increase over baseline, and where we saw immediate action as soon as 14 days. This is an increase of tear fluid production measured by the Schirmer test, which means that we're actually able to stimulate production of tear fluid and reduce the symptoms of dry eye. We saw early action on day 14 and maintained that action significantly over baseline at day 30, 60, and 90. In another deeper look at an objective measure, inferior corneal staining. This is an FDA validated phase 3 endpoint that we see statistical significance over vehicle control in the trial. So looking at group 3, we saw that as early as 30 days, our group 3, which was 0.1% estrogen in the morning and the evening, was able to show separation from a robust and significant treatment effect as early as day 30, and that maintaining that at day 60 and 90. So this really bodes well for a phase 3 design. So this is the summary, some highlights of the objective results. Here is a subjective symptom, which is important also to show for the regulatory authorities. You need to be able to show in 2 consecutive trials both improvement in one objective endpoint and one subjective endpoint. This is the Sandy test, the subjective endpoint, as I said, which is a measurement of dryness. This is a subjective measure where you ask the patients to give their best measurement as to how often they perceive a dryness and the severity of it. And here with the frequency measurement, we see that they were getting improvement as early as 30 days. You see that all the 3 active groups, these are the green, blue, and the red lines, are all trending downwards and maintaining treatment through the day 90. So here we have again another great result that piggybacks off of the objective results, which were very positive, that we have a really good candidate for further movement into development into phase 3. So the conclusions that we have from the trial is that we demonstrated safety and efficacy of this low dose estrogen with 1 or 2 drops a day, which helps patients with convenience. It confirms the results from 2 prior phase 2 trials, which really builds upon this larger body of evidence. And the fact that the patients responded so positively confirms our target patient population and strengthens the business case and the commercial case for this targeted therapy and this, towards this segment. And lastly, we have now we feel strong results and a strong candidate endpoints for moving further into phase 3. And this product, I think, will be ideally suited for this marketplace where there are really a lack of adequate therapies for moderate to severe sufferers. Today, you have patients that turn to first-line therapies of artificial tears, but then there are very few alternatives for them when it comes to moderate severe cases. And we believe here that RP101 will be ideally positioned as a second-line therapy, basically to compete with anti-inflammatory drugs or corticosteroids. So with that, we are very happy with what we've achieved in the RP101 program, and move on now to our RP501 program, and to talk to you a little bit more about that. There's sometimes in life when you're actually, you're tickled, you're very happy that there are results that pop up just surprisingly. And this was a serendipitous discovery in our RP101 phase 2 trial. What we saw that in the trial is that RP501, which was the IntelliGel control, it actually had positive effect in the trial, demonstrating improvement in objective and subjective measures. So from the objective standpoint, we can look here on the graph on the right. We see that that IntelliGel, which is now the RP501, actually showed significant tear fluid production as early as day 14. And it extended that, maintained that effect at day 30, 60, and 90. So this is really quite impressive. And we also saw improvement on a variety of symptoms, including dryness, foreign body sensation. So when we saw this information after our RP101 trial, we realized that, my gosh, we have something really of great value here. Let's design a new product around that, as there is a need for various types of dry eye therapies on the market. Again, it was proven safe as well. So our conclusion was, let's establish RP501, a treatment for temporary relief in mild dry eye. And really, when you have an aging population, which you can have a product that helps reduce symptoms associated with natural causes of aging, increased screen time in front of computers and mobile phones, and all of the therapeutic. I think the therapeutic benefit that we see here from RP501 is the fact that the IntelliGel is able to keep moisture on the eye longer, that you have a high wetting of the eye and a longer residence time. And this will thus potentially reduce the number of installations per day. So RP501 demonstrated in the RP101 phase 2 trial that it can reduce a broad spectrum of symptoms with 1 or 2 installations per day. And we have the potential here of providing relief in both men and women of all ages. So, having the clinical then evidence and being really feeling positive about it, we decided, let's go out and let's find out how we're going to position this product. Let's see if how patients, what their needs are, how they decide on selecting a product, and see if we match that with 501. We did a survey. We commissioned a survey of 350 patients in the US and in Europe. And in this survey, we found out that the top 3 demands were: 1, that they wanted an effective therapy; number 2, they wanted to have actual clinical evidence; and 3, they wanted to have fewer drops per day, so that they really didn't have to be concerned about putting it multiple times on the front of the eye. We feel that we're ideally, positioned with 501 to address these top 3 parameters. We have effect. We see that from the phase 2 trial, the data. There is clinical evidence from the trial. And this is quite important, especially in Europe, where this year the EU directives will demand that products companies that are selling artificial tears, which is the category which this will compete in, that they need to show actual clinical evidence. And this is a significant investment hurdle for a lot of companies, a lot of competitors, and I think that they will have a tough time of keeping their products on the market. And then lastly, we're able to provide relief with fewer installations a day. So ideally, I think we're going to be well positioned in the marketplace. So the market survey had a couple of other outcomes which are worth mentioning. And one is that approximately 40% of patients that were interviewed in the EU and US said they were really interested in the product and wanted to switch immediately to something like 501, and that they were willing to pay a higher price for this product because of its purported performance benefits. So we feel in the company that the opportunities are large. It could be faster to market within 2 to 3 years. We're dealing with a large market of both men and women of all ages. And because of the low manufacturing cost of IntelliGel, that the cost of goods sold would be small, and the profit margins would be higher. So how outstanding would that be? And it all leverages the output of the RP101 program. It really just builds upon the invested capital that we've already put into into 101 already, and requires really minimal investment to help us take this forward to the marketplace. So how big is dry eye, and what's the market potential? I think these are really important for us to understand when we look at the attractiveness of this commercial case. The dry eye market is really a large market. RP101 will be competing in a marketplace that's where anti-inflammatories, secretagogues, products that are actually stimulating production of tear film, punctal plugs. This segment is valued at $3.1 billion today and is expected to grow roughly to 5.8 in 2030. And we estimate that there are roughly 4 million women in the US and 6 million in Europe. That would be our target patient population here. And RP501 would also be competing in a large market. Today, it's valued at around 2.2 billion US, comprised of artificial tears, and will grow to $2.9 billion. One of the great things, I think, from surveys that we've done, both with market surveys, both with RP101 and 501, is that we've talked with both ophthalmologists, with gynecologists, and patients. And with 101, we saw that there's an incredibly high intent to treat among both ophthalmologists and gynecologists. And I really think that is one of the great results of these surveys that we've done. With regard to 501, as I mentioned earlier, there's a high intent to switch from patients. Patients were really found the 501 profile really positive and could really understand the benefits of that. And I think that this, the medical hypotheses for both 101 and 501 will really stimulate market uptake. With 101, the story is quite understandable and simple. Estrogen deficiency results in dry eye. You restore the tear film by putting a low dose of estrogen back on the eye to really trigger production and stabilization of the tear film. That's really easy to understand, both from patient and doctor standpoints. And from the 501 standpoint, again, it also is quite easy to understand. By putting a gel in the front of the eye with high wetting, you put more moisture there. You're able to lubricate the eyelids and put water on the eye and keep it there so that you stabilize the tear film. And lastly, both of these products will be able to garner within their categories, I think, good pricing, good, high gross margins for 101 and relatively high margins for 501 as well. So the commercial future appears really bright. And not to miss, what is driving the market within dry eye. Number one, it's an aging population. As we grow older, the incidence of dry eye, increases. And we also see that dry eye is associated with LASIK surgeries. That's a corrective surgery for the lens and often results in permanent dry eye. Also rising pollution levels, and also the advancement of other treatments in dry eye, as well as the expansion of eye care centers globally, they all contribute to this growth of the market. So I think we're really positioned well to take advantage of the market. So what are we doing over the next 12 months? Well, I think we're moving to to grow the asset values of both of these programs and to monetize them through partnering. With RP101, we will continue our partnering discussions. We're continue active discussions with pharma and of all sizes. We will also perform additional testing of IntelliGel-based products to look at the compatibility of IntelliGel-based products with contact lenses. Here we see that 20% of people actually use contact lenses, so it's important for us to show that we can have maximize the market potential of these products. And lastly, to prepare for phase 3. That's RP101. And then for 501, we'll be leveraging the 101 phase 2 results and accelerate this program to market. The idea is first to establish a stable primary packaging, and then to perform limited in vivo and in vitro studies for the EU CE mark, and also to refine our regulatory approach for the product in the US, and also establish GMP production and find a commercial partner in the EU and US. And not to forget IntelliGel, the testing that we'll be doing, we'll be building our collective knowledge about the technology and the platform itself, and vital to the future of this program. So how are we going to finance all these activities? Well, right now we are performing a rights issue, and we are also we've announced that our intention is to switch stock exchanges from Spotlight to First North. We have a subscription period that is currently active today. It started here Monday the 25th, and it extends through February the 8th. And the subscription price is 7 crowns per share, and 13 subscription rights will entitle an investor to 4 new shares in Redwood. So if the preferred rights issue is fully subscribed, it means that we'll be bringing in a total of 34.2 million Swedish crowns with bank costs of estimated around 4.8 million crowns. It's underwritten to 85%, or guaranteed, as we say here in Sweden, to 85%. And if the capital raise is fully subscribed, the amount of outstanding shares will increase from 15,859,063 shares to at most 20,738,771 shares. The dilution effect is then to be around 23.5%. And in connection with the issue, we are moving from the Spotlight stock market to First North in order to gain more exposure to institutional investors and to take advantage of the brand, the NASDAQ brand. So with that, thanks so much.
Well, thank you so much, Martin. And we're not really done with you yet. We have some questions. So my first question is actually, why are we speaking English, you and me?
We can switch to Swedish if you want.
No, that's fine. I'm just wondering, do we have an international audience watching?
Well, yes, these videos and opportunities are vital for us to really help the companies that we're talking with to get a real update as to what's going on at the current moment. And it's an excellent opportunity for them to get injected into our world here.
So we should see this as a good sign?
Absolutely.
Also, you're talking about moving to NASDAQ First North. Why is this the right time for you?
Well, first I want to say that Spotlight has been a great platform for us. I mean, when it was early known as Aktiedagen, it really gave us great access to our current investor and shareholder network, and we're very grateful for that. I think our ambitions or our goals are large, and NASDAQ is an organization with different platforms that I think that can give us a little bit of headroom in our expansion, and so I think that the timing right now is right for us. We're doing this in combination with a preferred rights issue, and I think we're really poised at a right time when we have just completed the phase 2 trial for RP101. I think it's the right time to make the move.
Mm-hmm. And also, since we're in the beginning of 2021, I just need to ask the question: what was 2020 like for you? This crazy year of years.
Oh wow! Well, it started off with really some nervous waiting for the results of the trial. You never knew. We had no idea what the outcome was going to be, but we're positively surprised when we got the results of the trial, and I think that to us was one of the biggest achievements. It was the biggest achievement in the company. There we had spent several years to get to that point, and to be able to point to positive results. It was amazing, but clearly the year has been affected by COVID and the pandemic. But fortunately, we avoided a lot of the effects from the clinic side. But COVID still, I think, has really changed the way we do our work, and normal routines become changed, upended, and we see that in our work with other potential partners. But we look positively now for 2021, and are looking to grow even more.
Okay, well, thank you. And I will have to leave you there looking into 2021. And good luck with your move to Nasdaq First North, and have fun ringing the bell.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Have a great day.
Thank you.